Let's get started with our media queries lesson. Responsive web design. When someone visits a website, it's possible they are viewing it on a phone, tablet, computer, or even a TV monitor. Because screen sizes can vary greatly across different devices, it's important for websites to resize and reorganize their content to best fit screens of all sizes. When a website doesn't respond to different screen sizes, the website may look odd or become indecipherable on certain devices. This usually occurs on smaller screens, like phones. When a website responds to the size of the screen it's viewed on, it's called a responsive website. Because websites can be displayed on thousands of different screen sizes, they must be able to respond to a change in screen size and adapt the content so that users can access it. Let's take a look at a website that does not respond to different screen sizes. Okay, so first there's this site. And in contrast, let's look at a responsive website. Okay, so resize the width of your browser to simulate a smaller screen. Note how the content on the web page does not shrink as you resize the browser width. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It looks normal. It looks fine. And then if I shrink this website, okay, let's look at it as we shrink it. What? It's not shrinking. Yeah, well, okay, I can see how messed up. The title is messed up. This is fine, just the title is messed up. Okay, so let's look at it on a phone. On a phone, it looks okay, but the picture, I guess, is not right. We can't really see the picture. We don't get to look at William Shakespeare. Okay, now let's look at, in contrast, a responsive website. So here it looks fine. Okay, so let's see what happens to the title when we oh wow, that looks really good. That looks really good. Wow, that looks really good. That looks really good. Okay, so let me shrink this to a phone, and the picture is supposed to cut off, I guess. I guess they're okay with that. Alright. But also, let's look at this. The sizing of this. How do we size this? What does this button do? Oh, I don't want to do that. How do I resize this? There we go. And I guess this is considered responsive. And they also have a cheat sheet. Let's see what the cheat sheet is on. Oh, it's on just this stuff. Going to have to look through that. Next, media queries. CSS uses media queries to adapt a website content to different screen sizes. With Media Query, CSS can detect the size of the current screen and apply different CSS styles depending on the width of the screen. So this example above demonstrates how a media query is applied. The media query defines a rule for screens smaller than 4080 pixels, max width 480 pixels, approximately the width of many smartphones in landscape orientation. Landscape orientation. This is landscape orientation. And what does that mean? Landscape orientation is when it's sideways. Portrait. Oh, portrait is called when it's upright. So let's break it down. At media, the keyword begins a media query rule and instructs the CSS compiler on how to parse the rest of the rule. Only screen indicates what types of devices should use this rule. In early attempts to target different devices, CSS incorporated different media types. CSS incorporated different media types: screen, print, handheld. The rationale was that by knowing the media type, the proper CSS rules could be applied. However, handheld and screen devices began to occupy a much wider range of sizes, and having only one CSS rule per media device was not sufficient. Screen is the media type always used for displaying content, no matter the type of device. And the only keyword is added to indicate that this rule only applies to one media type, screen. And max width 480 pixels. This part of the rule is called a media feature and instructs the CSS compiler to apply the CSS styles to devices with a width of 480 pixels or smaller. So this part is called the media feature. Max, it's in parentheses. Oh, even the and part. What was the only screen again? Indicates what types of devices should use this rule. CSS rules are nested inside of the media query's curly braces. The rules will be applied when the media query is met. In the example above, the text in the body element is set to a font size of 12 pixels when the user's screen is less than 480 pixels. The rules will be applied when the media query is met. Okay, so the example above, the text in the body element is set to font size and the user screen is less than 48 pixels. At the bottom of the style CSS, write a media query for a max width of 480 pixels. How are we going to do that? So there's going to be add media and dot page title. How do we know it's going to shrink the width of page title only? Okay, so anyways, what I'm getting is you add max width. Do I have to add the only screen? Let's just add that, or let's not add that, and just set the 480 pixels. And see if that is accepted. And it is not accepted. Did you write only screen? Okay, so we have to add only screen. And maybe we have to probably add the and as well to attach the media feature. Did you write okay? Okay. Okay, so inside, so that means where are we going to do this? It doesn't really. These are the hints I'm going to add in here. Did you write? Okay, so we just need an and there. And let's see if that will work or not. Okay, so that was enough to pass that one. When the screen is less than 480 pixels wide, give the dot page title class a width of 250 pixels. Okay, so when we want to target or select some elements, we do that inside of the body of the media query. The dot page title inside the media query. Where is it? All the way at the bottom. That's the convention. We add it all the way at the bottom. And then in there, once we specify the selector, then we can start defining our CSS declaration. Now there's a range. Specific screen sizes can be targeted by setting multiple width and height media features. Min width and min height. Min width and min height. Did we do that? We used min width. Max width. We used max width. Okay, so then here they're saying we could add a minimum. Conversely, max width and max height set the maximum width and maximum height. By using multiple width and height, a range can be set for a media query. A range can be set for a media query. For example, the example above would apply its CSS rules only when the screen size is between 320 pixels and 480 pixels. Okay, so they come in separate. And what did we say? How did we title? How did we phrase that? Why doesn't it open? Come on, why doesn't it open? Is it frozen? Am I frozen? Here it is. Okay. I hope it got saved. Okay, yeah, it is saved. And then the way they phrase it is attach the media feature. Attach the media feature. Okay, so they attach multiple media feature just by saying and then in parentheses. The example above would apply its CSS rules only when the screen size is between 320 pixels and 480 pixels. Notice the use of a second and keyword after the min width media feature. This allows us to chain two requirements together. The example above can be written using two separate rules as well. Oh, yeah, you can write it two separately. The first media query in the example above will apply CSS rules when the size of the screen meets or exceeds 320 pixels. The second media query will then apply CSS rules when the size of the screen meets or exceeds 480 pixels, meaning that it can override CSS rules present in the first media query or apply additional CSS rules that are not already present in the first. Both examples above are valid, and it is likely that you will see both patterns used when reading another developer's code. Let's make the gallery images appear larger when the screen size is small to medium size. Let's make the gallery images appear larger when the screen size is small to medium. The gallery images. We want them to appear larger when the screen size is small to medium. So we're just going to write one media query for screen at media for screen only, I guess. So we add only screen and max width of 480 pixels and a min width of 320 pixels. And then just add that body. Let's see if that works. Okay, I don't know why the order matters, but let's just switch the order around and then try that out. Okay, so the first one, is this saying? Is this saying that it will override the first one? Anyways, inside the media query, select the thumbnails with the gallery with the .gallery thumbnail. Well, what did I just press? And give them a width of 95%. And it appears bigger. Great. Great. Now let's also look at what that looked like in the index.html file. It was the dot gallery item dot thumbnail. Nothing too complex. And in here, dot gallery item dot thumbnail. Okay, so they just specify the width here. And the parent has a margin set. Dots per inch. Dots per inch DPI. Dots per inch. Dots per inch DPI. Another media feature we can target is screen resolution. Wow! Many times we will want to supply higher quality media, images, video, etc., only to users with screens that can support high resolution media. Targeting screen resolution also helps users avoid downloading high resolution, large file sizes, images that their screen may not be able to properly display. To target by resolution, we can use the min resolution and max resolution media features. These media features accept a resolution value in either dots per inch DPI or dots per centimeter. What is this link us to? Dots per inch. The media query and this in the example above targets high resolution screens by making sure the screen resolution is at least 300 dots per inch. If the screen resolution query is met, then we can use CSS to display high resolution images and other media. So what happens if it does not meet it? Does it just not show up? Write a media query to make the logo higher quality. The logo. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. If the visitor is looking at the Amazing Space website on a high-resolution display, a high-resolution display may have a min resolution of 150 dpi. So we add another media query. Just going to use the boilerplate. And now I'm going to add the new feature that I just learned, and it comes in units of DPI. Alright, did it work? No, I didn't change anything yet. Inside of the media query, add this CSS property to the .logo class. This code will change the existing code. What is this? Background image. So what is the difference here? So what is not right here? The code will change. Oh, it says to the logo class. Alright, the code will exchange the existing logo with a higher resolution logo. Is that higher? It looks the same to me. They make that difference obvious. The higher resolution spaceship logo has blue wings. If you're accessing Codecademy on the screen with a resolution greater than 150 dpi, you will observe the spaceship change. If not, you can rewrite the min resolution media feature to a lower value to observe the change. Was it not blue before? Let's change this. Let's see what it was before. They said the wings turned blue. Did it turn blue for you? It's still green for me, so let me lower it by 50 dpi. Whoa, it changed. So my screen does not have good resolution. Alright, that was good to know. The AND operator. In previous exercises, we changed multiple media features of the same type in one media query by using the AND operator. It allowed us to create a range by using min width, max width, and the same media query. The AND operator can be used to require multiple media features. Therefore, we can use the AND operator to require both a max width and a min resolution. By placing the AND operator between the two media features, the browser will require both media features to be true before it renders the CSS within the media query. The AND operator can be used to chain as many media features as necessary. The website's text needs to be larger for users who have small, low-resolution screens. The website's text needs to be larger for users who have small, low-resolution screens. Write a media query that applies when the max resolution is 100 dpi and the screen has a max width of 480. So we can just copy this and just change the body. They didn't specify what should be inside the body, but we need to have a max resolution. We need a max resolution. And a max width. And now we can add to the body a font size of 20 pixels. Comma separated list. If only one of the multiple media queries in the media query must be met, media features can be separated in a comma separated list. Media features can be separated in a comma separated list. Oh, if only one of the multiple media features. Interesting. The screen is in landscape mode. Okay, so there's only a minimum width for portrait mode. Well, for landscape, there is no minimum width. That would make sense because landscape has a wider, so there's no such thing. So it's less likely for it to have a minimum width. In the example above, we use a comma to separate multiple rules. The example above requires only one of the media features to be true for its CSS to apply. Note that the second one is orientation. The orientation media feature. It detects if the page has more width than height. Oh, that's what it does. If a page is wider, it's considered landscape. If the page is taller, then it's considered portrait. That's how you would put it. Navigate to the first media query where you targeted screens with a min width of 320 pixels and a max width. What is this? Is this extra? It was extra. So what do we want here? We want to make the logo and text appear vertical if the screen is in a portrait orientation. Add another media feature to a rule using comma to separate rules. The second media feature should check if the screen's orientation is portrait. Okay. So I guess we can just copy this stuff and we want a min width of 320 pixels and a max width of 480 pixels. Or, so the comma is like an or, and we want it to be we want a second media query, no, media feature to check if it's portrait. Did I add a comma between the media queries, media features? It's still wrong. Oh, I forgot the and here. That's what I forgot. Okay. Finally, next, breakpoints. We know how to use media queries to apply CSS rules based on screen size and resolution, but how do we determine what queries to set? The points at which media queries are set are called breakpoints. Breakpoints are the screen sizes at which your web page does not appear properly. For example, if we want to target tablets that are in landscape orientation, we can create the following breakpoint. This is a breakpoint. That looks like a media query. Okay, yeah. Okay, I guess this is a breakpoint. Oh. Breakpoints are just the screen sizes at which your web page does not appear properly. The example above creates a screen size range, the size of a tablet in landscape mode, and also identifies the orientation. However, setting breakpoints for every device imaginable would be incredibly difficult because there are many devices of differing shapes and sizes. In addition, new devices are released with new screen sizes every year. Rather than set breakpoints based on specific devices, the best practice is to resize your browser to view where the website naturally breaks based on its content. The dimensions at which the layout breaks or looks odd become your media query breakpoints. Within those breakpoints, we can adjust the CSS to make the page resize, and reorganize. By observing the dimensions at which a website naturally breaks, you can set media query breakpoints that create the best possible user's experience on a project-by-project basis, rather than forcing every project to fit a certain screen size. Different projects have different needs, and creating a responsive design should be no different. Check out this list of breakpoints by device width. Yeah, let me send this. Or you can Google it. There's probably a lot out there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, breakpoints. Alright, so these are just breakpoints. The last breakpoint we'd like to account for is a tablet in landscape orientation. The Amazing Space website should change its format to show the gallery pictures on the right, while having the logo and the description on the left. The Amazing Space website should change its format to show the gallery pictures on the right, and while having the logo and the description on the left. And the landscape. This is a nice site. Write a media query that meets the following requirements. So we want to just we can copy this and have a min width of, this is for, how do I comment? There's no such thing as comment in CSS, so, oh, you comment by doing this thing. That's how you comment it. And this is going to be for a tablet in landscape orientation. And we're going to set the min width to be 768, and the max width is going to be 1024. Oh my, 1024. The orientation is going to be landscape. Oh, and it's not either or, it's and. Yay, we passed. Okay, so inside of the media query include a CSS. Okay, so they want to put it to the left, and they want the text to also be aligned to the left. This will make the page title and the description, float to the left of the gallery image. Let's resize the browser to observe these changes at various screen widths. When is it? Oh, whoa! Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. I like that. Alright, finally time for a review on media queries. Incredible work! You learned how to change the way a website appears on different screens with media queries and breakpoints. Throughout this lesson, you learned when a website responds to the size of the screen it's viewed on. Responds to the size of the screen it's viewed on. It's called a responsive website. You can write media queries to help with different screen sizes. Media queries require media features. Media features are the conditions that must be met to render the CSS within a media query. Media queries require media features. Media features are the conditions that must be met to render the CSS within the media query. Media features can detect many aspects of a user's browser. Many media features can detect many aspects of a user's browser, including the screen's width, height, resolution, orientation, and more. Media features can detect many aspects of a user's browser, including the screen's width, height, resolution, orientation, and more. Including the screen's height, resolution, orientation, and more. And the AND operator. Oh, what did I do? I did not mean to go back. Okay, and so media features can detect many aspects of a user's browsers, including the screen's width, height, resolution, and orientation, and more. The AND operator requires multiple media features to be true at once. The comma-separated list of media features only requires one media feature to be true for the code within to be applied. The best practice for identifying where media queries should be set is by resizing the browser to determine where the content naturally breaks. Natural breakpoints are found by resizing the browser. With your knowledge of media queries and CSS, you can make websites that look great on any device. From a small phone to a huge television, by making your website responsive, you will make it possible for any of your users to have great experience. So the main thing that I learned is to use REM. Alright, so now that we're done with the lesson, we're going to take the quiz shortly.